One vocabulary activity that you can use in your classroom is something I call a peek and poke. It has a funny name, I know. People might call it other things. On the screen here, I got a reminder from my Facebook memories of the Spanish teacher who was hired after I left my school and how she was still using them. A peek and poke activity is pretty low level on Bloom's cognitive taxonomy, but it is appropriate to help review vocabulary, to learn vocabulary, and in a Spanish class it worked really well. There's also a way to make vocabulary a little bit more kinesthetic for those students who don't want to just use flashcards. On the screen you see a version that uses a map, and I have one here that I made. And basically the peek and poke has two sides. On one side it has the key term or the key concepts in images or in a map or whatever it might be that you are using in your content area. And then on the other side it has the actual terms that would be used. And in my Spanish class, to help foster authentic language, I would give a good prompt. So this one actually gives the tool donde está and then gives the language or the term so that way students can find it. The key with a peek and poke is that you have to reverse the images. So for example, here's the museum on this side. When I reverse it to the other side, it has to be on the same location. So a student can take their pencil or a wooden dowel and identify where it is, so that way the person checking it can see on the back side. So for example, with my partner, I could say, donde está el campo? And they could try to find it, and maybe they select this one, and then I could see that they poked through the right hole and got it correct. This particular peek and poke has pretty small holes. I would suggest something like what you see on the screen here with larger holes. The way you get a hole punch there is using a special tool, a nail punch or a grommet punch or something along that lines. They come in different sizes. You just need to use a little small tap hammer or craft hammer, but you can use a regular size hammer too to create your holes. Some key tips to that is that I laminate them so that way they can be reused year in and year out. Instead of using pencil or pens, I create little wooden dowels so that way they don't get all scuffed and marked with ink or pencil marks. And if you want to, another way, if you have a lot of time to do it, is to create them and do your hole punch with a larger hole punch, then laminate it, then do a smaller hole punch. That way you don't have to worry about the two pieces of paper coming across. So again, this is something I call a peek and poke, where you help students practice natural language acquisition and also reinforce vocabulary.